Are you hungry, Tom?
Oh, no.
Are you hungry?
No.
Would you like a little cereal?
No.
Jared Goff won't.
Obviously, a lot is at stake in what you guys are going. But how fun is the game for the team right now? It just seems like the team is real loose.
How pleased are you in here with the football maturity? I mean, we're seeing a lot of young guys take a big step.
Dan has always talked about grit and being physical.
These games have how he wants to win free throws.
And that kind of,
You guys are bored, huh?
always.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is a G, a P, S. That was the sound my tire made because I got a screw in it.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah. 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 Oh,
Wait.
no.
The future is dissing Russ?
I'm living in the future. I'm living in the future.
Michael J. Fox
Aw.
say something about him now?
Yeah.
Huh?
It wasn't even a sharp screw either. It was just like a dull one, and I heard clickety clackety clickety clackety while I was driving, and I was like, "Am I in a horse-drawn carriage or a 2013 Hyundai Sonata?" So I pulled over and I looked, and in my passenger front tire there was a screw. I thought that the screw days were over, right? Everyone
You got
thought
screwed.
that's what college was for. That's what the workforce was for. Just to get screwed. And no, I ran it over, and this was worse than that one time the screw was in the tuna. So,
Ew, in the tuna?
yeah.
You had tuna and it had a screw in it?
You don't know that story?
No? Is it related to you?
I dropped the screw in the tuna. Brandon,
context.
Brandon, when I went to your house that one time, explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, I was gonna say necrophilia, so I'll go with Tom's.
Combine them. So anyway, the one time that I came to your house, this is how I know that we were brol mates. That's bro soulmates, by the way. And I just made it up. Was that you are as anal about your water as I am.
Ah, yes.
Like that was because I have 2 Britas because I will die on this hill. It is the way of the future. That way you never have warm water because when you're filling up one Brita, you have the other one, which is going to be cold. And you have that big rectangular Brita. And if it gets below half, you're like, okay, no, we got to fill it up. We got to fill it up.
Don't like when it gets low.
No, you can't do that. Can't do that. So, can't do it. Tuna steaks are goated. But anyway, don't drop the screw in the tuna, kids. So,
one day, continue, please. Tell me the story.
It's from Keenan and Kel.
Oh.
Drop the screw.
Okay. Okay.
You ever see Keenan and Kel?
No more Nickelodeon references on this show.
Pokemon or Keenan and Kel? You got to pick one.
I'll take Keenan and Kel over Pokemon.
And I guess you're getting screw in the tuna.
And that thieving Blake Martinez making millions on Pokemon cards.
He's actually running an auction off a site that I sometimes bid on when it's cheap. It's fun. Good for Blake Martinez.
One day, Jess came home and she was like, "I think my tire's flat." So I went and checked it, and I pulled this out of her back tire.
So was it flat?
Actually, she's got the never flats on there, so you can still drive on it. It's got like a it was flat. It was flat as hell. But I saw like the little nose was sticking out, and I was like, oh, there's a little screw in there, and I went to pull it, and I was like, what is coming out of this tire?
It's like that my colonoscopy.
Yeah. So
Broncos versus Lions, and then Perna turns Madden off. And no, ice is cheating cold water. Ice is what you do if like there's warm water and you got no choice, but it's cheating.
No, I'm an ice man. I am ice in that water all day, every day.
Because then I'm drinking it and the ice is clanging and banging against my teeth. And I got some big chompers. So like,
you do.
Can't have that.
Pearly whites.
Have real football news. And we've spent the first 6 minutes of this episode talking complete nonsense. This is GPS, baby. So let's get into it. Deandre
just pulled the screw out of their tires. The Tennessee Titans, who finally have a fucking receiver on their roster.
It's true.
Wow.
It's accurate. Now,
I'll let you finish. I think the hype about DeAndre Hopkins landing with the Titans is justifiably all over the football scale. From it's not going to matter to this makes the Titans a complete football team. So we're going to try and figure out today where we think he actually helps Tennessee. And there's a whole bunch of running back news about the NFL continuing their hate towards paying running backs. But what were you going to say, Tom?
Use Brita and an ice. Why? It's just too much. It's too much cold.
That's how I go, El Tiger Blanco. That means the white tiger.
Anyway. So, my point was Justin Jefferson got a 99 overall in Madden, which means that the Vikings have to pay him $99 million.
Oh, I think that's actually less than what he's...
And that's for 1 year.
Oh, okay.
I want that.
Ooh, what if Madden had what if that's what the NFL did? Whoever gets the 99 rating that year gets 99 million for the season.
That's right. I didn't even know that was a thing in Europe. But guess what?
Ooh.
Tom Grossi, European in the toilet. Because I drink so much water without ice.
You just lost your European honorary status.
Damn it! I tried. Oh, there you go. All right, let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins. So he finally signed.
Yeah. They are actually.
Look at that toned physique.
Before we get into Hopkins, don't forget we got our private draft in the link description.
Make sure you check out Brandon's description.
We're 5 of 12 filled right now. We'll have more on Underdog in a bit, but that draft is down there. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I was saying DeAndre Hopkins finally decided which team he was going to go to. And you got to feel like a little bad for Texans fans. Like they're excited about their future and everything. But the fact that they traded DeAndre Hopkins when no fan wanted DeAndre Hopkins to get traded, and now he's coming back to play in the same division, you got to be like, it just stings. It's a little bit. It's a little bit. It stings a little.
Playing for the team that used to be in Houston, the Titans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
There you go, baby. There you go.
There's a lot to digest here because the Patriots and the Titans both made offers to DeAndre Hopkins like several weeks ago.
He was the first team they visited.
He was. They took him to a what was it, like a Kenny Chesney concert or some bullshit? By
the way, Rachel is getting a 3D printer so you can have a bust of me.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Rachel.
It's going to cost $1,000.
Whatever.
Anyway, continue.
I will not pay. Okay. Hopkins. Titans. They visited. First. All right. Then DeAndre Hopkins doesn't make a decision for a while. So we're like, okay, he's just waiting. He's waiting for the Chiefs or the Bills to pony up some money. We were waiting for them to free up some cap space. This week, there's been a lot of talk about Chris Jones restructuring. RBT was somebody showed his tagged me in his video of him just being super excited of DeAndre Hopkins. And it's just him screaming. And they're like, this giving off Brandon Perna and Russell Wilson vibes. And I was like, oh shit, it really is. I wish you better luck, RBT, than what I experienced last season. But it looked like maybe the Chiefs were going to be the front runners. Come in, give Hop some money because he said he would take an incentive latent deal to help the team with cap space.
Gotta be vegan.
Then, out of nowhere, it seemed he chooses the Titans. Does have a lot of incentives in his contract.
Up to $32 million.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I am wishing DeAndre Hopkins great success. Just based on the fact that he did not pick the Chiefs. That would have been too easy. Thank you for deciding not to terrorize me this season, DeAndre. Second, if he did not land in Tennessee, the Titans would have had the most abysmal receiving core, not in just the NFL, on earth. I would put some XFL receiving groups against theirs. Like, there was nobody on that roster where you go, you know what? That's going to be a game changer through the air. So the team that needed him the most actually got him. And now, what I was thinking about, like when I first heard about the signing, I was like, DeAndre Hopkins is very good.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a little bit older.
Sure.
I don't know how much this actually helps the Titans. Then I'm like, am I confusing the Titans for being a bad football team or just a boring ass football team? And I think it's boring. They were so boring last year. Their offensive coordinator, Todd Downing, terrible. DUI. Tannehill hurt or benched or whatever. Nothing worked out there. New offensive coordinator. Ryan Tannehill's there. You got Will Levis, maybe a little optimism for the future. If Derrick Henry's good, their defensive line returns to form with Landry coming back. Maybe they're just a sneaky good football team this season. That's where I'm at now.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, they were like one win away from making the playoffs.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like
they lost.
In my head, I'm like, they suck. They're
because they lost because the way that like it ended was they lost like 7 straight games. They beat the Packers on Thursday night and then never won a game for the rest of the season.
They just bored me.
They had a lot. They had injuries, right? That was an issue.
They're the Mac Jones of football teams.
I think there's also the issue of like Ryan Tannehill is often slept upon. I think he is. But last year, his critics were like, this is why we're sleeping on him. Because they did not do very well. I think also when Derrick Henry got hurt, they're just like, yeah, we don't care about the Titans anymore. So I think it's a team that gets very little media coverage. On top of they play in one of the worst divisions in football. And then the exciting team from that division was the Jaguars last year. So I think you mix all those together. Because even look when they won the number 1 overall seed. Like, everyone was like, really?
Yeah.
Like the Titans? Like, I don't think they're going to do that well. And then they lose their first game against the Bengals, where their D-line is great. They get 9 sacks on Joe Burrow.
Yeah, they lost the game where they sacked the opposing QB 9 times.
And literally, people look and go, well, that's why we sleep on them, and that's why. Because I like Mike Vrabel a lot. Like, I think
Everybody
he's a
does.
great coach. Their D-line is one of the best in football. However, I think DeAndre Hopkins makes the team a bit more exciting, but what confuses me a bit is because you and I have talked about this before. We agree that this is pretty much Tannehill's last dance, right? Unless they like re-sign him to like a quick 1-year deal, because there's still that figuring out. I'm assuming Tannehill is going to be the starter, and then they're going to figure out what the hell is going to go on with, you know, their second quarterback, and if Tannehill is going to stay as the starter the rest of the year. So there's the uncertainty at QB. You have to think Tannehill is done. And it feels like this signing is trying to keep like a Super Bowl window open. And if I don't know if it's open in the first place. Now, I will say that with a healthy Derrick Henry, if Treylon Burks develops, which I think DeAndre Hopkins will help in that, and Hopkins is good and they have that D-line, yeah, I mean, as I just said, they are in a weaker division. It's a rebuilding division, right? And I think the Jaguars will still be the favorite. But I think at the end of the day, in a stacked AFC, I don't know how much sense it makes because it feels like they're just trying to keep that window open. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a weird signing. Like they needed a wide receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. This was they addressed their biggest weakness.
Yeah,
and now it's obviously like if Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry one more year, they're going to be competitive.
Yeah,
but they'll be in the conversation for like legit playoff team if their defense is really good again. And we've grown accustomed to their defense being really good.
Yes.
I don't know about their corners this year, but they're a team I just feel like are very overlooked, and DeAndre Hopkins makes them a team where you can't just overlook them anymore. Accurate. And it's crazy to say about like a 31-year-old receiver coming in, but and I want to be careful. Like I don't think he like turns them into this like juggernaut. It's just an area that was so bad. He's like gives it a little bit of legitimacy, and I like their tight end too heading into the season.
I just think it's again, it makes their offense better. It makes their team better.
Okonkwo.
Okonkwo? Yeah, he's good. It just is a matter of you're giving him. I know the incentives kind of make that contract a little bit friendly, just in case he gets injured or just in case he doesn't play up to expectation. But I don't know. It just seems like this should be a signing. I know this might upset their fans. Like this seems like a signing that the Bills should have made, right? Like because even like the Patriots don't really make a ton of sense for me because I don't think the Patriots are Super Bowl contenders this year. I think their defense is still going to be good. I think their offense is going to be better
year after,
right? But it's not them. So like this makes sense for the Chiefs. I know they don't have the money, but like it makes sense for the Chiefs because it's like it adds another dynamic weapon. They definitely get a wide receiver one. It makes sense for the Bills. It makes sense for those teams like the Cowboys even like to take that extra step and kind of, give him an incentive late in contract.
Dallas would have been fun
to potentially do it. The Titans, I think, are playoff contenders, especially if their defense is good and everyone's healthy and Tannehill, is at least decent. I think they're playoff contenders. I just think it's going to be real tough in that AFC.
Yeah, it's the other like question mark about Tennessee is like their offense has just been suck. It has been suck since Arthur Smith left. Now, they made a change at OC, like I mentioned earlier, Todd Downing. I don't even know who the fuck their coordinator is this year, but I'm assuming he's going to be better. Tim Kelly? Is it Tim Kelly or something?
Todd Downing, very low bar. Like very,
very low bar. Very low bar. So I think there's an upgrade at OC, which should help Ryan Tannehill. I think like Tannehill and the marriage with Arthur Smith was really good. And that's when we started to gain confidence in Tannehill. Like, oh yeah, he is pretty good. Never like great, but like yeah, you can win with him. Then he threw all those picks in that, the playoffs to the Bengals. And I think that would be the other reason for optimism is the change there. But like we are banking on Derrick Henry being pretty dang good again. And that's fair because like Derrick Henry was supposed to fall off a cliff like 5 years ago, right? When was his 2,000-yard season? Okay, 2020. He got injured in 2021, still has 937 yards, and he was on like a freakish pace that year before he got hurt, right? Last year, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. Like this would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he had 937 in 2021, but he was on pace for another 2,000-yard season. So I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be a sixth possible straight season with 1,000 yards. If he's like a 1,200-yard rusher at running back, that's kind of a letdown for his production. But I think that's probably fair. Like 12 or 1,300 yards, still really good. it'll just be curious to see how good Derrick Henry is this season. And I think Hopkins helps. Like, at least there's some sort of threat in the receiving game. And he said that DeAndre Hopkins should help develop Treylon Burks.
Yes.
I imagine DeAndre Hopkins looking at Treylon, and he's just like, why aren't you as good as me? Be as good as me. That's the mentorship.
Yeah, no, like, I think that they will be contenders to compete for the division. I agree with that. But it's just
I will take that net worth bet, RBT.
The thing that doesn't make sense to me is Ryan Tannehill is in the final year of his contract. Derrick Henry is in the final year of his contract. It just seems like this is a move in which you're signing an aging but a good wide receiver for 2 years. This seems like a very Packers move from like last year of like, just try to keep the window open. Just keep it. And I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know how open it already was, because it feels like this is the last year of contention and it's getting blown up next year. But I don't know how far they're even going to go this year.
This is an all-in move. All in. Titans are
Correct.
going all in, and they can't even hit the table minimum. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like I'm going all in, and like, sir, you still need $100 to complete that bet. Okay, I'll take my chips back.
Yeah, so it's
I was
just
in Vegas, so
it's just a weird move because, like,
really good
again, their
analogy.
D-line, one of the best in football, and that can set them apart in an AFC that is very quarterback heavy. Like, they have the heavy hitters, or the offenses are really, really good. It's just you put them up against a team in the playoffs like the Bills, the Bengals, the Chiefs, who are gonna be there. It's gonna be tough sledding. It really is. And again, I think they can make the playoffs, which is fine. If they got, let's just say, like, they were definitely going to start the Mayo Man this year, right? And they're like, you know what, Will Levis, like, he is our guy. Let's just get him a really good wide receiver to help develop him a little bit more. I kind of maybe get it. It's still a little rich. But again, this just made more sense to me for, like, the Bills, the Cowboys, the team that, like, needed another wide receiver were right there. And the comment was, like, DeAndre went to a team to get money, because I'm sure, like, that's a good contract for him, because if he hits on those incentives, he's going to make a lot. But like that checklist that he had, he wanted a QB that loves the game and brings everyone on board with him, right? So, I mean, Tannehill, like, I think is a good quarterback. I know he's kind of like that lame duck position right now, but he's good. They do have a good defense, at least the D-line. Stable management. Okay, yeah. I don't know. It's just, it seems like it may have been a money move, which, not taking that away from him at all. From the Titans' perspective, that's where it's a little bit tougher for me to wrap my head around it.
You know who could really use DeAndre Hopkins? The Arizona Cardinals. Now, he was going to make like 22 million in Arizona, and he's getting basically like 13 mil a year if he hits all of his incentives. So he had to take a big pay cut to go to Tennessee. And I think this is interesting, right? Okay.
Sure.
Because here's what's different, I feel like now, is that, yeah, they are maybe about as good, right? But I feel like just the AFC since then is just so much better. And if the Titans were in the NFC, maybe we would be taking them a little more seriously.
Absolutely.
But it's like, I don't think anybody, even if the Titans win the division, okay, even if they have the best record in the division, I don't think anybody's like, the Titans can beat the Bills, the Titans can beat the Chiefs, the Titans can beat the Bengals. And I really don't think they're better than Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville's got a lot to prove to do it 2 years in a row. But like, if I'm going to bet my entire net worth, RBT, it's on Trevor Lawrence having like a breakout season over what like Ryan Tannehill's going to do for the Titans.
And
But
again,
I think it's the competition.
I'm not even shutting down that they could be good.
No, that it's
just, it's once they get to the play, and as we're talking about, this seems like an all-in move to get to the postseason. And at that point, right, like anything could happen, which is accurate. It's just, it's going to be an uphill battle. And I don't know. Like, maybe you're also hoping it just develops the crap out of Treylon Burks. Let's go.
One of the most beautiful places on earth.
I want to go.
I'll take you.
Okay. But yeah, like we gotta wait, right? We just gotta wait and see. I don't know. Like it's gonna be an interesting year for the Titans. I think they could be a very solid football team. It's just once they get to the gauntlet that is gonna be the AFC playoffs, it is gonna be difficult.
And also, if this was DeAndre Hopkins when he went from the Texans to the Cardinals, if it was that time period, prime Hopkins, I'd feel a little bit better, about saying like, oh yeah, they're gonna tear it up. But
well, if it was a long-term deal, right? If it was like, hey, he's younger, we signed him to a 4 or 5 year deal. Great.
He's still good. I don't think he's washed by any means.
I don't think he is either. But what I'm talking about is that your QB situation, because let's just say Will Levis takes over like week 10, right? Takes over and he looks pretty solid. Great. So you could go in next year and build a team around it. Derrick Henry, contract is expired. DeAndre Hopkins only has 1 year left. Like, that's what I mean. It just, the timing seems off. That's all. The timing seems off for the amount of money and the timing of the how the length of the contract. It's all that.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. That said, I'm going to put some money on them to win the Super Bowl right now.
Because I'm back, baby. That's how. I didn't have my hair done either. So I got it out I got it out under 40 minutes of that news breaking. I didn't have my hair done.
Of Hopkins?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so like that, right? It's that.
Yeah.
It's that.
It's
I
stupid.
know he would have cost
They're
more
so
money,
dumb.
But it's that.
They're so dumb.
That's the big one.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to pay AJ. They finally drafted the guy at a position they are notoriously bad at. And they gave him to the Eagles for Treylon Burks.
10-7, yeah, I think that's...
We will reflect upon that trade as one of the dumbest moves in NFL history. For now and evermore.
Yeah. And again, it's different front office and everything. It's just, I think they can be good. I don't think that they're going to be great.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, again, good could get you probably to the Super Bowl in the NFC or get you to the NFC Championship game because there is a lack of competition, especially, the real heavy hitters of the NFC. AFC, though, you're going to get to that wild card and it's going to be a battle.
Yeah. I mean, the Titans will be in a nice position if the Colts and Texans are still bad. And I think one of those teams still will not be good this year, but I think both of those teams, their stock is trending up. So I think the division is going to be more competitive.
Agreed.
Comparably. So there's a lot, so many X factors.
Yeah. That's it. Again, I think they'll be good. I don't know if they're going to be great. And I think the cost of trying to go all in with their current state, it's just going to lead to a bunch of challenges. That's all.
I do have breaking news, Tom.
What do you got, buddy?
You ready for this?
You sexy?
We filled our draft. We filled our private draft.
I think I'm drafting. Hold on.
Did you sign in or is it just me? There's That's Good Sports.
Oh, I forgot to click it.
Oh, I filled the draft.
You did. You get the Underdog sponsorship today. Oh, I have to draft in 2 leagues.
Yeah. There you go. So don't forget Underdog sponsoring the show. Our code, GPS. You got to sign up with our code. We have an insane goal we're trying to meet with Underdog. So if you guys support us,
I coughed.
They will support us. There's a link to join Underdog. That private draft filled. I can drop another draft in there today. But Underdog, if you use our code too, Underdog matches your first deposit up to $100. And boom. Weekly winners. This is my favorite draft right now. Best Ball Mania, you can win the giant prizes. Like it says, 15 million, 3 million to first place. That's a season-long sort of thing. Weekly winners, though, you draft your team now, and then you have chances to win $20,000 every week. That's new. They didn't have this last year. 20K, 10K, 9K, 8K, 7K, 6. Like, if you can be the best basically 1 week out of the season. Like, are you good enough to have one elite week in that season? That's how you can get paid out there.
Real quick though, Brennan, like I want to be the very best.
Yeah,
like no one ever was.
Look at this cute little fast puppy.
To catch them is my real test. Like to train them is my cause.
Huh?
Like I'll travel across the land searching far and wide.
It's just a fucking
Teach Pokemon to understand the
Is this a Pokemon reference?
Pokemon gotta catch 'em all so true. Our courage will pull us through.
And there are pick'ems. I can't play in the pick'ems, but you guess higher or lower.
Grossi can.
Yeah, we're going to do a lot of pick'ems this season. It's going to be fun. But don't forget to check them out. Underdog Fantasy. They are taking us to the promised land.
Hold on, because you forgot. I didn't forget. Disclaimer.
Oh, thank you, Tom Grossi.
Don't bet over your head. Bet with it.
Yeah. And it's fantasy. It's fantasy football. It's a game of skill.
Your fantasy football.
I wish. I wish.
True. In addition, so let's go back to Justin Jefferson getting a 99 overall.
I got 99 problems, but a
Madden.
Again,
$99 million for 1 year. His contract is going to be insane, dude. Like, it is going to be wild. Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about that real quick.
Yeah. We're going to get into running backs and Ingram. I think you're onto something, though. So if Madden gives a player a 99 rating that season, then the NFL has to pay that player $99 million for that season. And then Madden starts giving running backs 99 ratings so they can finally get paid. Solution.
But okay, so because I actually don't really care about the Madden thing. I don't. Like everyone hypes it up.
Are you going to even do your Madden thing this year?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll do all that. I'll do all that.
Oh! Thank you, Trev. Thank you, Trev. Trev R.
Or
Trev R.
Or
yeah. Let me see. Oh, wait for it.
Give him a good one.
Wait for it.
Better be a good one.
Fuck Tom.
Yeah, fuck Tom.
Fuck Tom.
Every time I reference Pokemon from now on.
Fuck Tom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you, Kirsten.
Obviously, a lot is at stake.
Goff in the Discord.
Anyway, so there's a bunch of news about running backs or lack thereof. Tony Pollard and the Cowboys, they still haven't come to an agreement. Saquon Barkley, who knows what's going on with that? Josh Jacobs, still going on with that. And again, this is an interesting conversation. I was having this conversation with the mods yesterday about Tony Pollard. There could be a bunch of reasons as to why Tony Pollard hasn't gotten an actual deal from the Cowboys. I think the biggest one being the Cowboys have no incentive to. The fact that Dalvin Cook is still a free agent, the fact that Zeke Elliott is still a free agent, the fact that the running back market is in the crapper right now, they do not have to. And they can think that Tony Pollard's the guy. They can think that. But if there is any doubt, even a little bit, you don't have to pay him because the market doesn't dictate that you have to. So you're going to see, Evan Ingram, and we'll talk about that. Evan Ingram got paid. But as a running back, you just don't need to. The teams have no incentive to do so. And I don't know if that's going to be changing anytime soon. Because even Derrick Henry, who got his contract a little while ago, I remember when that got released, and I was like, that still seems like an underpay. Because of how vital Derrick Henry is to the Tennessee Titans offense. And I still think he got underpaid. But it's just a position that really does not have a ton of value right now, according to the market.
Yeah, it's maybe one of the worst seasons to be a running back in terms of trying to get paid. The free agent market is saturated with 28, 27-year-old dudes who can all perform. The Cowboys also probably have buyer's remorse from the Zeke contract, and there's just there's like a consensus among GMs. We're like, we're just not going to do it. We'll draft a guy high, and we're just going to cut ties with these other guys. And the amount of like elite running backs who will get paid, it just shrinks every year. And you have to be a good running back, and you have to have that other, like even Austin Eckler, like he isn't arguably the best pass catching running back in the league, and the Chargers are still like, nah, we don't want to fucking pay you. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, their deadline to get a new deal done is today, 4 p.m. Eastern. They both want new contracts. Both deserve those contracts. Josh Jacobs, best back in the league last year. And unlike those other pass-catching frauds, he just did it the old-fashioned way. Handoff up the middle, get some yards. And it's not expected that the Cowboys are going to do anything with Pollard. So it'll be interesting to see if either Barkley or Josh Jacobs gets paid. If one of those guys gets paid and it's announced early, then the other guy, I feel like they're going to get a deal done.
Sure.
If they both hold tight, like, are they actually going to sit out and just forfeit the money that they would be making on the franchise tag? And that's what running backs are really pissed about, is like all of these guys, really good. They all got slapped with the franchise tag. So there was no market created for them.
It's like $10 million. It's 10 mil. It's 10.1.
Bypassed the entire like market for them. It's like, well, you're going to do this or you're not going to make any money. I hope they kind of hold out and like something gives here so that these guys get paid money they deserve.
But see, that's the thing though. Like the CBA screws.
Oh
them.
yeah, they've got to fix that in the next CBA.
But that's not going to help this current like batch of running backs.
No.
Because
no, it doesn't.
Here's what's going to happen:
running back strike.
Saquon,
Hollywood,
Pollard, Eckler, like they could all have like really good years. By the time this season's done, they will be a year older. I don't think magically the market is going to adjust in a season to be like, oh, we should pay running backs. And we're going to be where we are next year with a whole new batch of free agent running backs. I mean, again, look at Dalvin Cook. Like Dalvin Cook, if he was a free agent, like 3 years ago? I would say even like 3-ish years ago, people are snatching him up. And I know that he's going to get signed. Like I know he's going to go to somewhere. But the fact that it's taking this long and people are going to like teams are going to wait until camp. They're going to wait because they're going to sign him to a cheap ass deal. Like it's difficult too because there's very few running back contracts that wind up working out. And I mean, hell, like we just gave Aaron Jones like a lot of money and like he's still taking a pay cut. So
I think that actually makes it make sense.
Yeah, because they get 5 years of a cheap rookie deal and then they can cut you because what's the average of a running back's career? It's within 5 years.
It's 1 minute. The NFL should just start drafting high schoolers at running back.
That is the position of like draft, and then in like 4 to 5 years, you draft another one. Like the fact that the Chiefs can get, and I know it's an outlier, but they can get Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th. They'll draft a few running backs on day 3 or day 2. And they'll be like, okay, if one of them hits, okay. If not, we're not going to run the ball that much.
Yeah, they took Clyde Edwards-Helaire at like, what, 31 or 32?
Yeah, they took him in the first round.
I was like, what? That really worked out, KC. You only won one Super Bowl since drafting him, idiots.
Yeah, like they have the smallest window to have a long career in the NFL, and they just get like the crap beaten out of them every freaking play, whether it's to block or whether it's to run or catch and then get hit. Like they're getting hit all the time, and they're just not going to get paid. And like I just don't know. I don't know how that changes unless we go back to a running league, which is never going to happen.
No, there will be teams that do it, that commit to it, that
like the 49ers, but then they realized, oh crap, we still need a quarterback.
Yeah, you need a quarterback. I mean, the Eagles were run heavy. The Ravens have been. There will be like a small market
quarterbacks,
but it's is it a system that you can plug any of those guys in, or are you the Titans and you're good at running because of your running back?
It's cyclical.
And that's like, so as a fan, right? I think we get kind of attached to like the fantasy numbers of running backs as well.
Sure.
So it's like, and there are very good running backs like Nick Chubb, Christian McCaffrey, like all of these guys are tremendous. Eckler. But if you're a GM and you're looking at it and you're looking at the difference in like total production by maybe a couple backs that you took a second rounder on and I don't know, a fifth rounder, if you're combining their production and then putting it up to those other guys, like I think the drop off it's not that drastic for you in terms of, that guy was the difference for us in winning X number of games. Mm-hmm. The margins in terms of, I think your success as a team versus your success as a team with a elite running back are so small that it doesn't make sense for NFL teams. It sucks, but I think also running backs need to, when they're reworking this shit, if they're catching more than like 30 or 40 passes a year, like there needs to be like some wide receiver contract type money factored into, I'm being paid to catch more passes than I was the second leading receiver on our team. There should be incentives for that type of production.
Let's be very honest here. Jamal Williams, who broke Barry Sanders' record, is getting paid $4 million a year.
Yeah.
And listen, I love Jamal Williams with all my heart. He's not Nick Chubb, right?
No.
He's
but you always said he was better than Barry Sanders.
Nope. He's not like elite. But dude is breaking records and still couldn't get more than $5 million a year. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like the NFL goes, least valuable position to us, long snapper, and then running back.
So it's difficult because again, it's cyclical, pendulum swinging the other way eventually. It's just, I think you're going to have to see a bunch of run heavy offenses, and that really be the staple of the team. Cause you mentioned the Eagles. One of the reasons why the Eagles were such a good running team is their quarterback also runs too. Yeah. Lamar Jackson also runs too. And again, the 49ers are different, but they don't care. They're just like, we just have so many gadget players. Like, we already have just so many good skill players that we can take a deficit at QB, but that's not going to change the market. Because even CMC, for his value and what he brings to the 49ers, I think the 49ers still win that trade. I think they gave up to trade to Carolina, I don't think it's that much.
He also, runs CMC to play quarterback in a pinch in a playoff game.
Yeah. So it's wild to me because the market is really down. It's really, really down. And there's guys out there right now that can play really, really well. But we talk about the Bills, right? We talk about the Bills and their unwillingness to run, even though they have good running backs on the team, is because they just we don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't have to. It's not valued. We've talked about the Chiefs a million times. They have Isaiah Pacheco, who's really, really good. It's just, or had one really, really good season. And they just don't need to because they have Patrick Mahomes, and they will always be a passing football team that will utilize the run on occasion.
If the Chiefs have it'll shock me if the Chiefs have a 1,200 yard rusher while Patrick Mahomes is their quarterback. I just don't see that ever happening. And, unlike Josh Allen, who cranks out 700-800 rushing yards every year, Mahomes isn't doing that. He's just extending plays and turning them into the plays where other quarterbacks would probably run. He's still throwing it. Here's a question for you, though. You got Tony Pollard, you got Barkley, you got Jacobs. Which one of those guys, if you were going to pay, would you pay? You can only pay one.
All right, so Barkley, Jacobs, and what was the last one?
Pollard.
I'm
You're probably
leaning,
not even thinking of Pollard, but that's who I would pay.
yeah, I'm leaning towards Jacobs, but like Pollard is also a really good pass catcher.
Yeah. And he would probably be total the cheapest of the three.
Yeah, no, completely agree. He would be the cheapest, but he is a good pass catcher. Barkley, there's just risk because of the injury. Like he popped off last year, which is great. But Jacobs, I think, is just the most consistent. Saquon might be like the biggest impact, but I think the best overall player that helps like the whole team is going to be Pollard. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm still drafting. It's been weeks, so it takes a while.
Well, the slow drafts, it just depends. They take like a week or two, depending on how quickly everybody drafts. But you can also do like instant drafts where everybody only has 30 seconds to make their picks, and those drafts go really fast. We'll do some of those during the show. But we got a lot of people. We got picks made. But yeah, like Pollard to me is intriguing because I feel like there's still with Tony Pollard too, a little bit of we don't know his ceiling in terms of if he is the workhorse, because it's always been like splitting carries with Zeke.
Sure.
And even Zeke, like red zone, they kind of would lean on him. So there's maybe you could argue a little more upside with Tony Pollard versus those other two.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Well, let's say they all play this year. Who's going to have the best season? Pollard, Barkley, or Jacobs?
I don't trust McDaniels. I just don't. So like it's not a reflection on Jacobs. I think Tony Pollard. I think like Saquon literally was the Giants last year, like he was. But I think Pollard has the opportunity, like the highest ceiling as a pass catcher, and also getting the lion's share of carries.
Interesting.
I think he's going to be really good this year. And the thing is, he's going to be really good. And how old is he at this point? He's like
19.
He's 26, dude. So like Tony Pollard is 26. So next year, when he's done, he could have the greatest season of his life. He's gonna be 27, and
he'll
he's
be
right
around age, and they'll be like,
right around that age where it's like,
oh God,
I don't know.
how old are you?
And even if, like, let's just say, even if he gets paid, it's not going to be a ton.
Yeah,
I think he can get 2,000 yards this year, and he's still not going to get paid like more than 10 mil a year.
This is my impression of like an NFL GM. They're like, oh, Tony Pollard had 2,000 rushing yards last year. What's his age? 27 in 32
NFL GMs.
Their vomit lifts them off the seat of their chair. It makes them so sick when they see a running back over 26.
NFL GMs are Leonardo DiCaprio when it comes to running backs. They're like, once you get over 25, nope. Sorry. Not happening.
Yeah.
You ain't coming on the yacht.
NFL. In an anonymous interview with an NFL GM, it was revealed that they prefer their running backs to be barely legal.
Mm-hmm.
Report by Adam Schefter.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it on ESPN later this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But yeah, to be honest, I don't see any of them getting paid today. I would actually be surprised if any of them got paid.
If one gets paid today, I think it's Barkley. Because I feel like they're the least off in terms of contract money. And we know the Giants have offered at least something that was better than dog shit. Still wasn't what Saquon believes he's worth, and I don't know. I just feel like I think Dable and who's their GM? Joe Shane, who came out off under Bean. I feel like they'll figure it out. I have the most confidence in their front office and them being close. No confidence in the Raiders front office.
No,
that's
no.
That's a clown show over there. Cowboys, I know Jerry's probably like, come on, I'll pay him all the money. And they're like, whoa, Jerry. Whoa. I'm Jerry Jones. I got so much money to give him. Come on. Like, Jerry, we don't have to pay a running back again. He's like, but I got leftover money from getting rid of Zeke. So Giants, Cowboys, Raiders. If the Raiders come in and they're the only ones to get the deal done, that'll shock me.
How great would it be if like Zeke just comes back to the Cowboys for like $3 million? And Tony Pollard's like, you were supposed to be gone.
He's like, you screwed me again, Zeke. Not once, but twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I did a video Friday talking about running backs. He's just declining. His explosiveness gone. Dalvin Cook, out of the available free agents, still like in terms of breaking tackles and production, still kind of had it. But and Leonard Fournette, you're just like, ugh.
Leonard Fournette, he'll be like signed like week 12. Like,
yeah,
But that's what I mean. Like, Dalvin Cook is still a starter in my eyes. Still a starter. Still could be an RB1. Yeah. Zeke, as I've been saying about him, goal line. Give him goal line. Just like, and he's trimmed down, I saw. But like, goal line, hand it off, have a nice day, and call it.
Hollow from the air. You in a plane inject? Or a hot air balloon? I like to believe balloon.
He's in a hot air balloon. He's actually in a house with a bunch of balloons tied to it.
Oh, up.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, it's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Horrible?
Brandon, it's not as
underachieving, maybe. This year?
They're not good.
This year, the division, people will be like, dang, don't want to play there except for the Raiders.
Yeah,
the Raiders will be bad.
Chiefs are still winning.
But they'll still be competitive against the Chiefs.
There you go. Double duty.
It's the Broncos comeback year. Come on, baby.
What's they're gonna win like 6 games? Fine, they were nice to me. They won 7.
We're gonna win 11.
They're gonna win 11 games?
Yep. Nope, I will not do a bet.
Okay.
Next question.
I figured. Going back to Virginia.
I think we're done here today.
You're done? You don't want to talk about no more?
Nope.
We didn't even get to the ESPN rankings. All right, you're just done. Yes. It's Coach Week, baby.
Woo!
Coach Week, baby. Coach Week. Yeah. All right, Brandon wants to be done. Brandon wants to go home. You could be done. That's Guillermo. It's good to have hope. I don't even know who your quarterback is, though.
They're going to be really good, Guillermo. Yeah, I have lots of hope for the Raiders this year, Guillermo.
Oh, real quick. Evan Ingram signing for the Jaguars. I do want to talk about that for a hot second. I like that signing. I mean, again, he didn't really he didn't perform incredibly well. He had that one good year with the Giants, and then like he was a really good part of the Jaguars offense last year. Like, he was a staple. So like 3 years, I like that deal. I like that signing. Young QB, Trevor Lawrence already has a connection with them. I think the Jaguars offense, like if Calvin Ridley comes in and plays how I'm expecting him to play, they could have an explosive offense. And like ETN, like, I don't know. I think the Jaguars would be really exciting this year.
Ingram just stopped dropping balls. Like, that was his big knock in New York. He was dropping easy passes. Dan Jones was fumbling everything. It just wasn't working. And he turned out to be really good for the Jags last year. And I think like with Ridley there now too, it's like he's going to eat into Ingram's production, or you've got so many like talented receivers that Ingram's going to just have mismatches like all day. And I think there's an argument you can make for his production going up. And he had his best year with yards last year, 766, best in his career. He could be 1,000-yard tight end. Could be.
I think Ingram also it allows Ridley to get acclimated to that offense, right? Because like, let's just say he doesn't start popping off until like week 8. Like Ingram can carry that until then because he was good last year. And he already has that connection with Trevor Lawrence until, he develops that chemistry with Ridley. So
Ridley me this.
Make it easier or harder to pay backs? I don't think Mixon. I think Mixon's just, it's part of the entire deal. Like Aaron Jones took a pay cut too. It's just running backs, I think, are starting to realize that they're not going to make lucrative money. And so because of that, they're like, all right, well, I'll take a few years, just because it's at least some guaranteed money.
Yeah. Mixon was like, my production went down. I'm on a tremendous football team. And if I don't do this, they could sign Dalvin Cook.
Yeah. This is like, all right, got it.
Or Kareem Hunt. Or Zeke. Like, I am replaceable.
Yes. I don't think running backs have... Because what running back right now...
Also, my sister allegedly shot a teenage boy in the foot.
What running back right now would you say, like how many would you say are indispensable?
I mean, none. None.
Like,
I would say the best are like
CMC.
One of the best is Josh Jacobs, at least from last year.
Sure.
We already know the Raiders, they didn't value him before last year. He goes off. They still don't value him. Christian McCaffrey, maybe. But he's a guy that the Panthers traded away last year. It worked out for both teams. Nick Chubb, probably just the best overall back year to year.
Mm-hmm.
But Browns haven't done diddly since Baker Mayfield won them that one playoff game. That's the thing. Like, you could say, like, we can get by till we find something else. It's like, get a really good running back, and then maybe if you can trade him, you do it, or you just write out his contract and then insult him on his way out. That's like your path. Thanks for your service. Now,
I think it really is. You draft a running back in like the later part, unless you think they're a stud, like they think like Bijan is going to be a stud.
Yeah.
You're going to draft a running back at the end of the first round. So you get him on 5 years, or you're just going to draft one, like draft a couple, see if you hit on one, and hopefully they're serviceable. And if not, you just keep on doing that every year until you find one that's a little bit more than decent. Like Isaiah Pacheco, 4 years, 7th rounder, 4 years. Like, even if he's a stud, maybe he gets one more, like maybe one lucrative contract.
Yeah.
Maybe. And by lucrative, that's a stretch.
Yeah. Derrick Henry means the most to his team. He is like the running back, you could argue, the directly wins correlate to his production for that team.
Mm-hmm. Like, so someone just mentioned Aaron Jones. Like, Aaron Jones is such a dual threat running back, and he took a pay cut.
Yeah.
Because he, like, and I was just a little shocked the first time. I was like, damn, okay. Like, he's not making as much money staying with the Packers. I was legitimately shocked because I was like, oh, he could go somewhere else and get paid more. That's not the case.
No.
It's not. Like, right now, it is so risky to be a running back. Because you have to get signed, and it's likely not going to be a long-term deal. And that's it. Like, that's why Jamal Williams, I know he beat the touch, like, beating Barry Sanders' touchdown record and all that great stuff, but teams do not look at him as a true, like, running back one that they need to pay a lot of money to. Like, he's getting $12 million over 3 years. And Muller's like, yeah, that's the best I'm going to get.
Smart agent said, don't leave. Don't leave. It ain't good out there, Aaron.
No, like, I'll make some money and that's it. Because unless Bijan is that good, like, if Bijan is like great, like he's getting like 1,500, 2,000 yards like every season for the first 5 years of his rookie deal, I think it's going to be a while until you see an explosive like running back contract. Because even Jonathan Taylor, look at that rookie year. And then he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
Because they get the crap beaten out of them.
If you're a really good running back, you want to be playing with a mediocre quarterback. You want to look like you carry your QB through games. Bijan right now, because we don't know anything about Desmond Ridder, has that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to be a very good running back with a really good quarterback because you are so dispensable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, someone mentioned like Algier. Algier was good last year. They still drafted Bijan.
He was insanely productive.
Kenneth Walker was great last year.
Zach Charbonnet.
Seahawks still drafted
Let's
it.
get drunk on a big glass of Zach Charbonnet, baby.
Like Miles Sanders was good last year. Eagles said bye-bye.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that Brandon, you should be a running back.
I was.
Because already
Look where it got
you're
me.
underpaid.
Hey, underdog. Dish it up. I am now a wide receiver. Or center.
Like people like if you're running back in college, just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna become a tight end. Which the market's not great for them either.
It's better though.
So
good tight ends stick out.
It's true. Brandon, what do you got coming out?
I got a video today. Will and I are working on about where wide receivers go to die.
I wonder what the inspiration was for that.
Yeah, well, D-Hop inspired us. Got us thinking about some death-like teams.
Okay,
so
that's good.
What do you got, Tom?
Got a skit dropping today. It's either going to be about running backs or DeAndre Hopkins. Going to be one of the others talking about D-Hop, but
do it about tennis.
That 20-year-old won his first Wimbledon. I saw that. That was pretty cool.
All right.
That was the first time that like a big four. I don't follow tennis at all. That's the first time since 1992, so over 20 years, that one of the big four haven't won like the men's singles in Wimbledon. And I just saw that randomly on the internet.
Nice.
Brandon's like, I don't care. Talk about Pokemon.
I like tennis.
Folks, do you play pickleball?
No,
it's
but I bet I would be
rage.
so good at it.
The rage right now.
I know. You and I should be on a pickleball team.
I don't even think I know how to play. Got him.
All right. I got to pee.
I got poop. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. We'll see you on Wednesday for another edition of GPS. But you have been navigated to the bathroom.
You've reached your destination. Bye.